Why having a stable job is the riskiest move in 2026. Look at your hands right now. Are they trembling? If they aren't, you aren't paying attention. You are holding on to that stable job like a terrified passenger on the Titanic, clutching a premium velvet deck chair while the iceberg has already carved a skyscraper-sized hole through the hull. You think that bi-weekly direct deposit is a heartbeat? No, my friend, that's the muffled sound of a ticking time bomb buried in the foundation of your life. In 2026, the term stable job has officially become the ultimate oxymoron, sitting right up there with jumbo shrimp, military intelligence, or ethical politician. If you are still banking on your career to save your family, you aren't an employee. You're a professional gambler playing a slot machine that's been programmed to pay out exclusively in expired coupons for a store that went bankrupt during the Great Depression. Your security is actually a trapdoor, and you are standing right on the hinge with a blindfold on. Let's talk about why your corporate loyalty is the fastest, most efficient way to join the global financial breadline. I used to be a world-class athlete in the Rat Race Olympics. I had a job so stable that I thought I could see the exact date of my retirement from my desk. I had the dental plan that covered everything except the grinding of my teeth at night. I had the 401k match that felt like free money until I realized it was just a locked box in a burning building. My boss used to call the team a family, which, looking back, was the biggest red flag of them all. Usually, only family members have the audacity to ask you to work through Thanksgiving dinner for the greater good of a quarterly earnings report. I felt invincible. I was the captain of my own little cubicle-sized soul, unaware that the sea was rising. Then came the Efficiency Audit of 2025. It turns out, a 12-year-old kid in a garage in Jakarta with a custom AI agent named Dave could do my entire six-figure job for the price of a lukewarm Starbucks latte. I wasn't fired. That would imply I was a human being. I was deprioritized. I was optimized out of the workflow. I walked out with a soggy cardboard box and a sense of betrayal so thick I could taste the metallic bitterness in the back of my throat. I realized then that stability is just a fairy tale the system whispers in your ear, so you'll stay quiet while they harvest the best, most vibrant years of your life. Most of us are trading our life force for a currency that loses value faster than a new luxury car driven off a 500-foot cliff. We are building monuments in a swamp and acting surprised when the floor feels damp. Let's talk about the inflationary guillotine of 2026. The US national debt has crossed $40 trillion. That's a cosmic joke, and your paycheck is the punchline. When your boss calls you into the office to give you that impressive 5% raise, they aren't rewarding you, they're giving you a slow-motion pay cut with a smile and a firm handshake. Why? Because the real cost of living, the stuff you actually need, like energy, protein, and a roof over your head, just went up 12% in the last 12 months. You're working harder, sleeping less, and drinking more cheap coffee just to afford a life that is fundamentally getting smaller and meaner. You're on a treadmill that's slowly being angled upward while the floor is being greased with industrial-grade lubricant. Your stable job isn't a safety net. It's a tether that keeps you exactly where the government and the central banks can find you to tax your time until there's nothing left but gray hair and dust. Forget the fishermen in El Salvador. Let's go to Austin, Texas, and meet Sarah, a 28-year-old graphic designer who decided she was done being a victim. 2 years ago, Sarah was a corporate slave at a massive ad agency. She had stability, but she was miserable. Her salary was stuck in 2022 levels, while her rent was clearly living in the year 3026. Sarah decided to quit, not to find another master, but to become an independent value unit. She started taking payments exclusively in Bitcoin for her freelance work. Now, here's where the drama gets spicy. Her legacy bank actually blocked her accounts. They froze her funds and called her for an investigative interview. They told her the block was for her protection. Protection from what? Protection from owning her own labor? The IMF and the big banks hate Sarah. Why? Because Sarah has exited their control loop. She doesn't need their credit scores to prove her worth. She doesn't need their predatory 22% interest loans to survive a bad month. She doesn't need their permission to move her wealth across a border. Sarah is her own central bank. She's David with a digital slingshot, and the Goliath of the banking system is sweating through his tailored suit because he can't devalue Sarah's hard work anymore. They want you stuck in a cubicle because a cubicle is a tax farm. They hate Sarah because you can't tax a ghost in the machine. Are you going to stay in the burning agency with the human resources team, listening to them explain the new wellness initiative? Or are you going to become a sovereign ghost like Sarah? Wall Street wants you to believe that a salary is income. It's not. It's a rock. It's a static, heavy weight that doesn't grow and eventually crushes you under its own lack of momentum. A salary is the minimum amount a company can pay you to keep you from leaving, while inflation is the maximum amount the government can steal from you without you starting a revolution. Bitcoin is the only seed. In 2026, while your stable industry is being devoured by large language models and your stable currency is being diluted by central bank liquidity injections that only benefit the 1%, Bitcoin remains the only constant in a world of variables. It is pure math. It is decentralized truth. It is the only asset on the planet that doesn't need a CEO to be honest or a government to be competent. Stop planting rocks. Your loyalty to a company that would replace your entire department with a ChatGPT prompt tomorrow morning, and start planting seeds. You need the only asset that actually grows in the ruins of a collapsing fiat empire, Bitcoin. Why is the system designed to make you love your job? Because job security is the ultimate psychological warfare. It keeps the middle class just comfortable enough to keep the gears of the machine turning, but never wealthy enough to actually stop the machine. Since 2021, the cost of a median home in the US has outpaced the average salary by a factor of nearly 5. You aren't getting promoted, you are being diluted like a single drop of ink in a swimming pool. You're like a person proud of owning more shares in a company, not realizing the board just issued 10 billion new ones behind your back. The stable job is a permission-based prison. You need permission to see your kid's soccer game. You need permission to go to the dentist. You need permission to move your own money out of a savings account. You need permission to exist in their economy. The real financial revolution isn't about a better resume or a fancy MBA. It's about a better monetary system. When you move your life's energy into Bitcoin, you are claiming your sovereignty. You are moving from a world of "may I please" to a world of "I already did and you can't stop me." In 2026, the only real stability is being decentralized. The institutions that preach loyalty and uplifting with a steady, reassuring voice. The institutions that preach loyalty and culture are the same ones that will optimize you out of existence the moment a spreadsheet tells them it'll save them 5 cents on the dollar. They want you in the stable game because it's a closed loop. It's a hamster wheel designed to keep you busy and exhausted until you're too old to realize you were never free. The World Bank's war on Bitcoin isn't about protecting the unbanked or preventing money laundering. That's the cover story. The real war is about protecting the monopoly on your labor. When you accept a stable job as your only source of truth, you're betting on the house, and the house always wins. But when you buy Bitcoin and build your own value, you're betting on yourself. You're joining a global network of people who realized that a fixed supply of 21 million is a much better master than a boardroom of billionaires who can't stop printing money. Look at the data. In the last decade, the purchasing power of the dollar has cratered, while Bitcoin has outperformed every single stable stock, bond, and real estate market on the planet. This isn't a speculative bubble, empowering and uplifting with a steady, reassuring voice. This isn't the sound of the world's capital fleeing a burning building. Your job is the lobby of that building. It looks nice, the air conditioning is still on, and there's free coffee, but the upper floors are already gone. So do yourself a favor today. Take that employee badge off your neck. Look at it. Really look at it. Realize it's not a shield, it's a target. It's a tracking device for the IRS and a leash for your ambition. Don't be the collateral damage of a dying fiat dream. Join the Future Freedom 360 community. Stop being a voluntary victim in a game where the rules were written before you were born to ensure you never win. Think critically. Plant seeds, not rocks. If you keep clinging to stability, you're just another name on a future layoff list in the financial cemetery. Why? Having a stable job is the riskiest move in 2026. Now you know the truth. The door is open. It's made of code. It's secured by the most powerful computer network in history, and it leads to a world where your time actually belongs to you. Welcome to the financial revolution. Let's build something that the politicians can't print away. Let's build for freedom.